Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Probably going to be a few minutes after before we get started. Um, we have quite a few people um, in this intro to Microsoft Windows 11 presentation.
Hi, Jacqueline. Good morning. This is Gautami from Personal Health IT. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Doing well. And yourself?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yes, it looks like everyone's uh, trickling in. I wouldn't say trickling, but everybody's getting in now.
Hi, Jacqueline. Good morning. This is Joseph.
Hi, Joseph. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hopefully you guys are excited about Windows 11. I understand you guys are going to transition into Windows 11, or you have
Yeah.
already? Okay.
Yes, we are transitioning into Windows 11. So we're holding two trainings. One is today, prior to the rollout, and one probably in late January after the rollout.
Okay. Okay.
We'll give a couple of minutes for folks to join, and then I'll formally introduce you to the team.
Okay. Do you know how many we're expecting?
Uh, Probably close to 100.
Okay, okay. That's what I thought. Just want to make sure. I'm still admitting people in, so they are coming in by the droves now.
Okay, it's 9:30 a.m. Hello and good morning, everyone. I am pleased to welcome you to our Windows 11 training session. In the coming days, we'll be distributing Windows 11 laptops to all our business users. To facilitate a seamless transition, we have organized two training sessions, one today prior to the rollout and another in late January following the rollout. I am honored to introduce our trainer, Jacqueline Eaton. Jacqueline joined New Horizons Learning Group in October 22 as a business applications instructor, bringing with her nearly 3 decades of instructional expertise. She's a seasoned Microsoft certified trainer, senior instructional designer, and corporate trainer with extensive experience in education, corporate training, and consulting. Jacqueline holds MOS certification and possesses mastery in SAP FI, IBM, and various customized software solutions, including big machines. Jacqueline, we are eager to dive into the Windows 11 training session. Shall we begin?
Yes, we shall begin. Going to start. I'm still admitting people in, so I'm going to be going back and forth. But I am excited about Microsoft Windows 11. I just started using it myself, and I really like, and we're going to discuss the differences, but I really like the new look of Windows 11. before we really get into the differences though, just to give you an idea of what we're going to be covering. We're not going to cover everything in Windows 11. We're just going to basically cover the differences between 10 and 11. So that we can, because we should already be using Windows 10, right? So, but there are significant differences, especially in the environment, in the user interface environment. So we definitely want to be able to navigate around the environment. So with that being said, let me move some stuff around. Here are some key differences, although there are a couple of other differences. But what I just mentioned, the key difference is the user interface. So once we log in to Windows 11, it's going to look totally different. All right. So one of the differences that's going to be noticeable is where the start menu is at. It's centered now. And the taskbar is much simpler to look at and navigate, and everything is rounded instead of square. The start menu, again, very simplified in 11, focusing on the application icons and a dedicated space for recently used files. Okay, we're going to take a look at that. I'm actually going to go into a Windows 11 environment and share that screen after we talk about the first part of Windows 11, and that is logging in and logging out, going through those slides very quickly, and then I'm going to transition into the lab so that we don't have to look at slides and myself and listen to me talk about the differences. We're actually going to see, I'm going to be able to demonstrate those differences for you. Again, just like the start menu, the taskbar is also centered. So everything is centered, aligned, and it's like that because of Microsoft wanting to make sure that people who are mobile, using mobile devices, tablet, telephone, whatever the case is, mobile phone, they're able to use the start menu. Because a lot of times they're not able to use it because it's so far to the left. So they centered everything to make it easier, again, for people who use mobile devices. Also, if you have been using the snap feature in Windows 10, one of my favorite features to use, that is still available in Windows 11, but it's changed now because now it has snap layouts and snap groups to make it much easier to snap your applications in place so that you can view them all on one monitor. Also, widgets are reintroduced before 2010. Our live tiles were called widgets, so now they're called widgets again. And now we're able to see the news, weather, calendar events live like we were doing before, but they are now called widgets instead of live tiles. Also, Windows have also integrated Teams onto the taskbar. So you'll be able to see the Teams icon on the taskbar and click on it from there. And then lastly, the virtual desktops. Okay, I don't know if anyone has been using them in Windows 10, but it's very handy, especially if you're working on different projects and you want to be able to go to those different projects in different virtual desktops. A lot of other reasons why we're going to use virtual desktops at work, right? But we'll discuss that later. Also, what I didn't mention, didn't put on here is the Microsoft Store. That's been redesigned, so you have a better user experience, and you actually have a wider range of apps, including support for different types of applications. The gaming, although I don't think we're going to be doing much of that at work, but if you use Windows 11 at home, personal use, first of all, I want to say that it is a free upgrade if you use Windows 10 at home to upgrade to Windows 11. Of course, with certain system requirements, but for the most part, you can upgrade. And of course, speaking of minimum system requirements, Windows 11 does have a higher minimum system requirements compared to Windows 10. And also with Windows 11, you are expected to receive more regular updates from Microsoft, including new features and security improvements that come with those updates. Okay, so no, I
Hi,
said,
Jasmine. Sorry for interrupting. Looks like a couple of people was in the waiting
okay,
room. Could you
yeah,
please allow them
thank you,
in?
thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, and I don't mind the reminders because once I get started, um, it is hard. And I usually get I'm surprised I don't get a sound. There we go. Now I had to put it on there. Okay. So now I get a sound when someone is in the waiting room. Okay, thank you. Mhm. Okay, so Windows 11, what we are going to cover today in such a short period of time, because I was told I have about an hour and a half, and then the last 30 minutes is for Q&A. So if you have any questions while we're going through this presentation, please hold them off until the last 30 minutes because we do have a lot to cover. Unless we're in labs and I'm right in the middle of something that you have a question about, then go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'll try to resolve your question or answer your question then. Let me see. Okay, so logging in and logging out to Windows 11. We're going to go over the start menu, taskbar. We're going to take a look at the updated File Explorer. There are a couple of changes in the File Explorer. Again, the virtual desktops, and we're going to go over some of the configuration apps, which are basically in the settings, and know how to configure accessibility features as well. The main difference, again, in Windows 11 is how it looks. All right, so of course you're going to need to know how to navigate, because with those looks or the appearance of Windows 11, of course we have different ways to navigate, all right, which is very important. So first we're going to take a look at the lock screen. Okay, so the lock screen is different. All right, it shows up. We know after the system reboots, just like in Windows 10, though, you can disable the lock screen. I'm not sure how your company has your system set up, but a cool Windows 11 feature is being able to display an animated background. So again, this is something that has to be set up to use this feature. On this screen, along with being able to personalize the lock screen to show Windows images, a single image or slideshow, you can see detailed status of your calendar, mail, or weather app. Okay. However, you can only show or have one app. Okay. And then the date and time is at the top center of the screen. So again, everything is pretty much centered. All right. That is the motif of Windows 11, is centering everything, making everything look simple. So what you see on here is the internet access icon and the power status icon. All right. Here you can see the strength of Wi-Fi connection. You also can see the computer, if the computer has a wired Ethernet connection to a network with internet access. Indicates the computer has connected to a network, but without internet access. Also, what you'll see here is, again, the power status icon, and you can see the remaining power and if the device is plugged in. All right. And you're also able to see if the device isn't plugged in. Okay, so a different look and feel to the lock screen. All right, the login screen. Okay, not too much of a difference. Again, you just have a more simpler look. But login screen, of course, is where you would access Windows 11 desktop. And you have to enter your password or PIN to sign in. Again, I know with different companies, they have different ways to log in. You may need a password, but if you are using it at home, when you initially put in the password, they have you set up a PIN, and that's how you log in. All right. Again, on this screen, you see the connection icon right here, shows the status of the network connection. And you're able to see a list of available wireless networks from this screen right here. This accessibility icon right here, okay, very important, because when you select this button, you'll immediately hear the narrator blurt out menu options. Okay, this works very well for those of users who need those accessibility features right from the jump. So that's why it's available on the login screen, so that they could use it right away. All right. And then, of course, you have your power button right here. Of course, you can shut down, restart your computer, and also you can put the computer in sleep mode even before logging in. Okay. And then you have your available accounts over here on the lower left corner. Okay, so of course you have your different account types. I'm not really going to go too much into this. It's pretty much the same as Windows 10, and in that it supports several types of accounts, which can be used to log in, with some having more restrictions, and some can be managed by someone other than the user. So you have your local accounts, okay, which the account and configuration only applies to that PC that you're on. All right. Then you have your Microsoft accounts, and you have access to the store. You're able to share files with OneDrive. You can use the Windows Hello security feature. You can back up your settings. You can use bundled Windows 11 apps, like Team Chat, Mail, Calendar. And you're able to download new apps from the Microsoft Store. And then most importantly, you can synchronize settings across multiple devices. Then you have your domain accounts. And this can be a standard user or administrator account. Of course, you have your work and school accounts. And this is where you would have access to network resources such as email, network apps, and devices. And this account is most of the time controlled by a network or work administrator. And it may limit what you can do on your local computer, which settings you can change, and may prevent you from installing apps or hardware yourself. Just making an assumption that this is probably the account that you'll be using right here. All right, so you can use your account on multiple devices, and syncing your account gives you access to files, settings, and passwords on each of your devices. Okay, just like in Windows 10. But you have to be logged into your Microsoft account. You can set up your account to specify the folders to sync apps across devices, and sync settings across those devices as well. All right, and this is from the settings app. As you can see, it is a whole lot different than the Windows 10 settings window. Right, sign-in options. Again, I'm not going to go through the entire way to sign in, but these same sign-in options were available in Windows 10, again, depending on whether it's a work or a personal account. But when you sign into your computer, of course, you need to provide private info to identify yourself, unless, of course, it's already set up by your administrators. And customarily, this is a password. Like I mentioned before, the first time signing in with a Microsoft account to Windows 11, you will be prompted for a password. Then you'll have to set up a PIN, all right, to use on the device to use after that. You're also able to set up a picture password to display an image, and the user has to touch or click specific areas of the image to authenticate. Biometric authentication is also an option and requires and uses hardware to capture your face or your fingerprint. And then lastly is a physical security key in a USB port or NFC with smartphone or access card to generate a code that identifies you. Some companies still use the USB port to access their computer, which is on a network. And this is, of course, used with another sign-in method when you use that last physical security key. Okay, Windows Hello. I don't know if anyone has ever used it. I haven't used it in Windows 10. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it in Windows 11, but this is a login feature that was also available in Windows 10. And this is just another secure method of gaining access to your Windows 11 operating system. Okay, you can use a PIN, the biometric access, and then the password is replaced by two-factor authentication. And this releases credentials that you can authenticate. All right. And this is the second factor in the authentication process. All right, the Windows Hello. So it's not by itself. It's not a standalone login option. All right. So now we're going to get into the actual look and feel of navigating Windows 11 desktop. Okay. So as you can see, what I mentioned before is you have your entire work area here. Okay, this is what you call your work area or your desktop area. So basically, it looks the same except for when you come down here to your taskbar. All right, again, your taskbar items and the start button is centered on this screen. All right. You'll notice that when you select or hover over a tool or user interface element, you'll have access to all kinds of apps and programs, ranging from specializing software to the Microsoft Store apps. You can still pin your favorite apps and programs to your taskbar, so you can get them to them quickly. And you're still able to personalize the desktop with shortcuts, background colors, and themes. Again, those processes or methods are still the same. It just looks differently. One of the differences on the taskbar, all right, is, and we know this is a place where you can select buttons to access apps that are used within Windows 11. So any app that you currently have open shows a button on the taskbar. All right. You can remove apps you don't use or you don't want to see on the taskbar when you access Windows 11 desktop. So what's the difference? I'm not sure if I'm going to be able, I think we have to wait. I have to wait until I get into lab to show you, to demonstrate. But the difference being when you have an open app, okay, remember before, when you have an open app, you can tell that it was open on the taskbar because it had a blue line underneath that app. All right, a blue single line underneath the app when it was open. Now what you see, you still see that blue line, but you only see that blue line if that window is your active window that you have open. All right, and select it. Because of course you can have more than one app open. Otherwise, you will only know if something is open but minimized if it has a dot underneath. Okay, so that is one of the differences between Windows 10 and Windows 11 as far as the desktop is concerned, besides it being centered so far. So again, all right, and I'll be able to demonstrate this once I get into that environment. Your active open app will have a line underneath it, same blue line, I believe. And then you'll see like a black dot underneath the app if it's open but minimized. All right, one of the differences. Also, another difference is the naming convention. Okay, so here we have what's called, instead of the notification area, this is now called the taskbar corner. Okay, and these items here are basically the same as you would see in Windows 10. It's just a different name here, taskbar corner, and you have this little caret right here. That's now called the taskbar corner overflow. Okay, and of course, that button is where you would click on to see the other items that could not fit on the taskbar, and you're able to customize what you see on the taskbar as well. So again, just to go over each of those buttons, the start button provides access to all installed apps and administrative tools. Then you have search right here. Same thing, and it allows you to search your computer and the web, just like in Windows 10. Excuse me. Then you have your task view. All right, a different look to a different appearance. And this, of course, is when you view and switch between your virtual desktops. And we're going to talk about that later. And you're able to assign open apps to the specific virtual desktops. Okay. Then you have your widgets. Okay, remember we talked about the widgets. So this show the weather for your current location, local news, stock information, sports information, global headlines, and again, just like in Windows 10, you're able to customize the information that is shown. And this feature right here, okay, this says chat, and this is actually access to the Teams chat. And it's built into the Windows 11 taskbar. Then we still have the File Explorer. And of course, this is where you can manage files and folders. Then Microsoft Edge is where you would browse the web. And lastly, Microsoft Store is where you would download Windows apps, games, music, movies, TV shows, etc. And lastly, I talked about the taskbar corner now, and it's located on the right side of the taskbar and includes buttons for system features. And each button enables you to execute a different type of system command, such as removing external memory storage devices, connection to the internet, determining your Wi-Fi network signal strength, monitoring notifications, managing speaker volume, and viewing battery life on laptops and other portable devices. So again, same type of settings there. All right, just a different look. The start button, all right, is probably in Windows 11 one of the most important desktop elements. Again, the start button is it is centered, all right, and you have options here. Okay, you don't have that tile menu. You actually, it's more simpler. You have smaller icons, and again, this is customizable. You can pin other apps. You can remove pin items from here, and you're also able to see your most recent or recommended documents and files. All right. So again, start button, this is really centered, it's not on the side. And this is called your start menu. Okay. Again, start button is centered and makes it easier on touchscreen devices and on systems with wide monitors. The start menu, which is the main way to access your installed apps, works best for navigating your way around while providing you with tools that you need to find and launch apps quickly and easily. Okay. So here is your, and then after this, we're actually going to go get out of here and actually see it. You'll be able to see it live as I demonstrate. But all the install apps are listed in this all apps button. Okay, Windows 10 had one, but it was a different user interface. Okay, you're able to also scroll if you have additional pinned apps here. I think there's only maybe 2 rows, I'm not sure, by default. Again, you're able to customize what you want pinned and what you don't. You can select the More button to see a longer list of your recently accessed files here. The Power Options button is over here on the right, and then the Profile menu is over here. Okay, and we're going to take a look at that. So let me go ahead and get out of here. All right. So I've already logged in to into the environment. So that's why I went over the login procedure first, because it usually takes a few minutes to log in, because then I have to log in the local account and then log out and then log into the Microsoft account. So we're not going to pay attention to that right now. So don't worry about these instructions. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and close those down so we have a bigger screen. There we go. All right, so we're going to start from the taskbar. We're going to start from the right. When you log in though, what you will see, just like in Windows 10, by default, you'll only have the recycle bin here. So, and of course, you'll see this nice, pretty looking animated flower, I guess. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. But in Windows 10, all right, there was a show, or there is a Windows 10 is still alive, peoples. Windows 10, there is this button called the Show Desktop. All right, it was a little bit more prevalent in Windows 10 because you've seen a little slither of a line there, but it's not there now. You actually have to hover over the far edge of the taskbar on the right to get a tooltip, all right, that will say Show Desktop, and that's how you know that it's there. All right, so basically showing the desktop, and I'll open this so you can see what it does if you've never used it in Windows 10, is when you click on that, it actually removes any open apps, all right, from view so that you can just see your desktop. Okay, very handy tool. Next, you have, if you click on your date and time right here, all right, you have your notifications with your focus assist settings. We're going to go over this later. I don't want to say later like it's going to take a while, but we're going to go over this probably a little bit before 11. But we're going to go over the different settings here. Then if you click on the sound, all right, it takes you to this pop-out menu. And so that is the sound settings, okay? If you click on this button right here, the network settings, all right, it takes you to the same thing. So clicking on these two buttons right here, all right, will give you this flyout window, right? From this flyout window, if you click on this pencil, that's the edit quick settings, all right, you're able to remove and add any pinned items here in this flyout window, okay? Then you have your OneDrive. Then you have your show hidden icons button. Okay. Remember, this is your overflow. There's nothing here though, except for this Windows security. But this is where you can see your overflow items that could not fit on the taskbar. All right. Next, what we're going to take a look at is the widgets. Okay, so remember this button right here is the widgets. If you click on this, all right, again, you are able to see different items. Okay, so this would be like the live tile menus, but more prevalent. All right, because you actually see items, not just a little flash or movement, but you can actually click and choose different items to open them up from here, or widgets. So you're scrolling down, all right, and then if you go up here, we're going to go ahead and click on this icon up here. This is your settings icon from your widgets window. All right. And you're able to do a lot from here. We're not going to get into personalize your interests. If you're signed into your Microsoft account, you're able to click on this little link at the very left bottom corner and put the type of interest that you want to see instead of what is by defaulted shown. What we are going to do though is we're going to add or pin a widget. So we're going to go ahead and pin this tips widget there because it is not there. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and click X out of there, out of the flyout window. And as you can see, here is our widgets window right here. You can scroll through it. Our tips widget window or card. These are called cards here. All right. And you're able to scroll through. If you click on this little more options menu button right here, you're able to change the size or remove it. Okay. So 2 sizes, medium or large. All right. Depending on what you want. You're also able to add widgets from this button right here. All right. Next, we're going to click out of there. So if you want to get out of the widgets, just click outside into the desktop and it'll close. All right. Next is the start menu. All right. Looks basically the same. They didn't change how that looks. So we're going to go ahead and click on the start menu. And as you can see, all right, everything is pretty much simpler to look at. All right. Again, this is centered. However, this can be changed. So if you wanted to put it back to the left, all right, you just click on your settings. Go to personalization. And then we're going to go to taskbar. All right, and then where am I at? Taskbar behaviors. And then right here where it says taskbar alignment. All right, and you can keep it at center or you can change it to left if that's what you're used to. Okay, so you're able to customize this your start menu and taskbar. Location, of course. All right. So I'm going to go back. And we're going to go over some of the settings options in a few minutes as well. Next, let me go back in here. Again, what you're able to do is move your pinned apps around. You can remove them, and you can pin apps to the first position, which is pin to top. But you can click and drag. All right, move settings here to the first position. So again, you can click and drag. Also, what you're able to do is right click and you're able to move to the top. Now, it doesn't go to the top, it goes to the very beginning. Not only does it go to the top, it goes to the very beginning. So if we pinned the paint and moved it to top, it will move to the first position right here. Okay, so moving these around is pretty simple. Okay, what we're also able to do, and I'm going to unpin this from start, is pin other apps to that start menu. Okay, so just like in Windows 10, you can just click on a letter and it'll give you it'll give you the alphabet pretty much. All right, and you could just click on where you want to go to. I want to go to M for maps again. And then if you want to pin an app, just right click it and then select pin to start. Now, if you click on this more button, you're still able to pin it to the taskbar if you like. Also go to app settings, rate and review, and also share. But we are going to pin to start. I'm going to go back. And as you can see, maps is right there. Okay, so again, very simple to use. Next, what we're going to do is add folders to the start menu. Okay, so I want you to take a look down here next to this power button right here. Okay, so power, this is where you can restart and shut down. Of course, if there were any updates that needed to be done, you will see instead of restart, you will see update and restart, or shut down, you will see update and shut down. Okay, if you click on your profile right here, you're able to sign out, lock, change account settings here. And if you wanted to log in with another user or local user, you're able to do that here as well. All right, but as you can see, there is nothing here, all right, to the left of the power button. And I just want you to notice that before we actually start adding folders to the start menu. Okay, so we're going to go back to the settings app right here. All right, we're going to select personalization. And then we are going to expand the start option. All right, and we're able to toggle these options right here: show recently added apps, show most used apps, show recently opened items in the start jump list and file explorer. But what we want to go here, we want to go to folders because we want to add, we want to make some folders accessible from our start menu. All right, so we won't have to go to the file explorer every single time. So we'll go ahead and let's see, file explorer, documents, downloads, and pictures. All right, so we added those there. And we're going to go ahead and X out of there so we can open back up our start menu. And now if you look next to that power button, we actually see those 4 folders there. Okay, it's more accessible. Okay, again, customizable. Does not have to be these 4 folders. It could be any folders here that are available from your settings app in the personalization from the start menu options. Okay. Let's see what we're going to do next. All right. So speaking of File Explorer, let's go there. All right, so we're going to get out of the start menu and we're going to go ahead and click on the File Explorer. All right, I was going to go to back to the slides, but just want to make sure we have enough time. I'll just go through everything here. We still have pretty much almost the same look and feel, except for up here, we have a more simpler, and this isn't a toolbar, this is called the command bar, all right? And you actually have a simpler view here. You still have your navigation pane, your address bar, and your content pane, all right? Here, as well as the status bar, although you can't tell that that is the status bar, but it is, all right? And of course, the status bar gives you information on your selected item in File Explorer, all right? So for instance, in Quick Access, we have that selected, and it's telling us how many items are in the Quick Access folder. As you can see, there are 6 here, okay, in the content pane. Also, you're able to search just like you did in Windows 10. Okay. So let's go ahead and pin a folder to Quick Access. All right. So we're going to go here to the navigation pane. We're going to click on this little caret right here and go to local disk C. And we'll pin this folder right here. All right. This data folder. And it's very simple to do, all right? All you have to do is right click. Hopefully you get there, we go. And then select Pin to Quick Access, okay? Also, what you're able to do here is Pin to Start, if that's where you want it to go, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and just select Pin to Quick Access. And as you look in the navigation pane over here, it is over here on the left under Quick Access. Okay, and you see a little pin next to it, meaning that this is pinned. All right, and if you click it, all right, it takes you there. If you right click it, you can unpin it from the Quick Access. All right. Now I'm going to pin it back there. Oh, did I do it? No. Oh, pinned it wrong. There we go. So it's back to the Quick Access. All right. Next, what we're going to do is create a new folder. All right. I am the right click queen. I just like to right click and see where that could take me. All right. So you can go ahead and create a new folder from here. But if you use the command bar, it's actually this first button there and it says new. If you select that, your option here is folder. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And we'll name this fitness newsletter. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to copy 4 files, all right, from our newly pinned folder into this fitness newsletter. Okay, so we're going to go ahead under Quick Access. I'm going to click on that, and we're going to click in the Managing Files and Folders. All right, and we're actually going to go ahead and this person in and Control A to select all of these. It probably won't work. Oh, it worked. Because usually it tries to select whatever I got going on outside of the virtual environment, but it worked today. All right, so I'll go ahead and copy that too. So we're going to go ahead and right click. All right. Now, what is different is this flyout menu right here. Okay, this contextual menu. So as you can see, you do not see copy here, right? If we right click, what you do is you see those formatting options up here. Okay, the editing and formatting options up here. So you have cut, copy, rename, share, and then you have delete. Okay, so these are easily accessed at the top of this flyout menu. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and select copy. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and go back to our local C drive. We're going to go back to our fitness newsletter folder that we selected. I'm going to double click on that, right click, and it only gives us one option at the top this time. All right, and that is to paste. Okay, just want to point out too, though, those options are also on the command bar. All right, they're also on the command bar. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and paste. And as you can see, it's easy to copy and paste from one folder to another. All right. So I know you guys, for the most part, or you all, know how to copy and paste. It's just a different environment. So that's why I'm going through the nuances here. Also, what I want to do is on the command bar, the layout and view options right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And this is where you can see your file icons differently. Okay, get a different view of your icons. So we're going to go ahead and, okay, so details are already selected. And we are going to make sure that navigation pane, and we're going to select file name extension. All right, so now we're able to see the file name extension as well. All right. So just something else that is available up here from the command bar. From this see more menu right here, you also have options here. All right, undo, pin to quick access, select all, select none, invert selection, properties and options, and it actually gives you a preview, so to speak, of what your selection is doing. All right. All right, so now what we're going to do is compress the files into a compressed folder. Now, I'm assuming that because we share files and sometimes we have to share huge files, that we may need to compress files. So we're going to take these files right here. All right. And we are going to Control A again. And again, we're going to right click. All right. And then we're going to select compress to zip file. All right. And we're going to name this Fitness Newsletter Zip. put zip. Zip, zip. All right. And then just click outside of it. Okay. So if we double click on that file, we see our compressed files there. And then we are able to extract them all. So we want to go up here to the command bar, extract all. And then it shows you where it's going to put it at in the C drive. All right. And then we're going to extract. And then we're able to see our extract files there. Okay. So next, what we are going to do, we're going to get out of this file explorer. And again, if there's something else that you wanted to see, let's wait until 11 o'clock. All right, for our Q&A, and then I'll demonstrate anything that you might have missed or that you didn't see. So let's go ahead now. Want to demonstrate our virtual desktops. But before we do that, I actually want to show you the snap feature. Okay, so I actually have I thought that was installing already. So the weather is, and I could still keep that there. I'm going to go ahead and open a couple of apps, at least 4 of them. So that we can use the snap feature in Windows 11. It actually is very simple. And to be honest, it did take me some time, probably a couple of tries, because it is a little different than the snap, using the snap feature in Windows 10. All right, so what else do I have open? Let me open WordPad. Okay. So I think I have 4 open. So WordPad, same thing. If you, let's go ahead and go this side. All right. If you snap one to one side, either side, right or left, all right, to take up 1/2. And then you click on one of them. All right, one of the ones that are showing up. These are your open apps, not necessarily your active apps, but your open apps. Speaking of which, okay, let me go down here. All right, to take a look at our open apps. Okay, remember I mentioned earlier that you'll see a blue line under your open app and active. All right, so this is the open active app right here. Okay, the weather app. Okay, and this is because it was the last app that we actually opened. These other apps with the blue, with the black or dark gray dot underneath means that these are open, but these are minimized and they're not the active app. Okay, so again, that is another difference of the taskbar, is being able to know when you have, there we go, when you have apps open, which you knew that in Windows 10, except all of the apps that were open, whether they were minimized or active, showed this blue line. Now only the active open app has this blue line underneath. Okay, so this is what I want to show you that's different about the snap layout or the snap feature, which was called in Windows 10. It is now called the snap layout here. It's because once you pretty much know where your apps are going to be, you can move out the way. You can hover over, all right, the different apps by clicking on one of the maximize buttons up here, all right, and then select how you want your apps to show. All right, do you want them side by side? All right, do you want this one wider than your right? All right, do you want 3 showing or do you want all 4 showing? So we're going to go ahead and select that we want this weather app right here on the top left corner. I'm going to select that. and just click on each app that you want in each of these boxes as they're showing up. All right, so as you can see, we have our weather app here. We have our WordPad and our maps, and it looks kind of wonky because of the virtual environment that I'm in, the lab. The screen is not big enough, and it won't let me get a full screen, but that's okay. So as you can see, we're able to use that snap layout here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and minimize all of these. Okay, just want to show you that. And now we are going to look at the virtual desktops and actually create one. All right, so we're going to click on this little icon on the taskbar right here that says once we hover over it, desktop 1 and new desktop, but we're going to click it. Okay, so our desktop 1 is selected. Okay, you see this blue line underneath it? Okay, that is our currently selected desktop. What we want to do is click on this plus sign right here for new desktop, but we don't want to name it desktop 1 and desktop 2. All right, so we're going to go ahead and name desktop 1 by clicking on the name one time, and then you're going to type main in there. Okay, and then desktop 2, we're just going to call this project. All right. So as you can see, it is very simple to create a new desktop, and I'm not sure how many you can have. Not sure about that. I need to find out. But you can have there are several desktops that you can have. I'm thinking at least 8. But you can have multiple virtual desktops here. All right, and they are separate. Okay, so all right, so just remember, when you're creating virtual desktops, you are actually creating separate desktops. I don't know why I keep on doing that. I want to create a new one. So again, you can just keep selecting if you have different projects. If you are working in on your laptop and you use it for personal and business use, you can use different virtual desktops for that reason. But again, this is a handy tool right here. All right. Okay, so I'm actually going to bring back up the instructions. Maybe not. Let me see. All right, so lastly, we're going to go over configuring some of the Windows apps. And I don't need this up here. Give me a couple of seconds. All right, so let me move this out. I got too many things open. So what we're going to do is change some configuration settings. The first part that we're going to change is some of the taskbar settings. So we're going to go ahead and click on the taskbar. All right, there you go. You see taskbar settings. Okay, that's the only option you get once you right click on it. And then we're going to go ahead and select it. And this actually brings us to the settings option, but it specifically opens up to taskbar. Okay. So we're directly to the page within the settings app. Okay, for taskbar settings. And we're going to select the search toggle to turn that off. All right, as you can see, it disappeared. All right, so you're able to toggle some of your taskbar items on or off without customizing them, without removing them. You could just toggle them off and on. All right. Then we're going to, from the taskbar alignment, remember, I showed you this before in the beginning. All right, we're able to select the left right here. Sorry, my screen just went out for some reason. I was hoping you guys were still there. We're in and out. All right, sorry about that. It's still doing it. Flickering. All right, so again, you can change the alignment to left. All right, as you can see, the taskbar is now to the left, the taskbar and your start menu. All right. I actually like it on the left, to be honest, but this is fine too. I'm probably going to leave mine there. All right, so also you can automatically hide the taskbar. All right. And then you can toggle it back on if you want by unchecking this. You can also show or not show badges, which is your unread messages on the taskbar apps. But if we click that, it won't show us anything. We don't have any unread messages. And then you can select the far corner of the taskbar to show the desktop. So you can toggle that off as well. All right, so instead of going here to show that, it will not show it, but if you use it, then you probably want to keep this on there. All right. In the left pane of the settings, all right, we're going to select Windows Update. Okay. And if we expand the advanced options here, all right, you're able to turn on some of these features right here as far as your Windows updates. Okay, you guys probably don't have to, you all probably don't have to worry about that because your system administrator probably will do this for you. All right, you probably don't have permission to do this, but this is, if you use it at home, this is where you can set your Windows update options here. Okay. You can, next we're going to change the display color to nightlight. So we're going to select, okay. We're going to select System to open the system settings. All right, let me maximize that. And I'm sorry if this is smaller. This usually lets me toggle the full screen, but it's not letting me do that today for some reason. And we're going to go ahead and expand display. All right, and you're able to toggle on the night light option here. Okay. And there are different options. If you click on the caret, all right, you can schedule your night light. You can show the strength of it, the brightness. You could turn it on from here as well. Okay. Okay, next, notifications. Okay, so system and then notifications here. We're going to click on the caret. And again, you can turn off or enable or disable whether you would like to get notifications. If you click on the drop down, it gives you more specific options, whether you want to show notifications on the lock screen, whether you want to show reminders and incoming voice over IP calls on the lock screen, or allow notification to play sound. So you can enable or disable these specifically here as well. Okay. Next, we are going to select personalization. All right. So again, here you can choose different themes, built-in themes if you like. I'm going to go back here though. And if we go down here and expand the lock screen, sorry, I can't go through everything. I'm just trying to go over what's in the notes for you guys. The lock screen here, all right, you can show different options here. All right, you can select the picture, you can browse, all right. And it says here, you need to activate Windows. Of course, I'm using the test account, so I'm not going to activate. But you're able to put your own photos here, use your own photos. Your lock screen status, remember, I said you have one option from your weather, mail, or calendar to show on your lock screen status. And you're able to do that from here. You can choose weather, mail, or calendar. All right. So you're able to see that specific status. All right. Whichever one you choose. The calendar is the defaulted setting. All right. Or status that you can see. You're also able to enable or disable whether the background picture on your lock screen is on the sign-in screen. All right, and that is also defaulted to be on. All right. Okay, here we can't choose screensaver, but you're able to also click on this link right here. Once you have you're logged in and you have your and Windows is activated on your PC, which it will be. You're able to go here to your screensaver and select a screensaver from the drop-down menu. Sorry, I can't show you that here, but again, I don't have my Windows activated on here. Okay, and you're also able to choose your screensaver as well as set the timing, all right, of how long you want it to wait before your screensaver comes on. Okay, accounts. Okay, what I do when I click on account is and I go to, and I'm using my personal account, I actually go to email and accounts, and then accounts used by other apps. I can add another account, but this is the account that I'm using here. You can add an account from here as well, another account. Okay. If you click on your info, what you're also able to do is add your picture, your profile picture. Okay, so you can add your profile picture directly from your camera on your computer. All right, or if you have a webcam on your computer, or you can just choose a file. Okay. Here we go. All right. Let me see what else. Again, that is something that I cannot do. So of course, after you've made your changes, all you have to do is click, well, I have this on full screen, but if this was restored down like that, you could just click outside of it, or maybe not, because I'm not in this actual settings app. But you can minimize it and close out of it. And then any changes you've made, you'll be able to see them. You're actually able to see them as you're making those changes, as we noticed before. I think that is, oh no. So again, one more thing. I think I said we were going to go over the accessibility options for you. So let's go ahead and do that. And for that, I will have to open this back up here. Mm. Managing devices, I can show you that real quick. So we can go back into our settings. All right, and then Bluetooth and devices from here right underneath system. And you're able to add a device here. All right, mouse, keyboard, audio, displays, docks, those devices here. And you're able to see other settings as well. Also, printers and scanners, you're able to view those if they were on here as well. Also add them, but again, if you're at work, you're probably using a network device, and that's something you don't have to worry about. Your phone, even though I don't know your access as far as if you're allowed to access your phone, and I think you're only able to access an Android phone. And then you're also able to see suggestions for using your phone with Windows if that's something that you can do. Cameras, mouse, also you're able to add a device for those and look at any installed devices that you may have on here. Okay, again, network and internet settings. Okay, you're able to configure those and view them from here as well. Also able to set your time and language. Okay, date and time. Okay, you're able to do that from here, and which I haven't done on here, but I believe you should still be able to, oh, yes, you can set additional clocks for different time zones, okay, which I do use in Windows 10. I thought it would show on this monitor, but this is not my main monitor, so I won't show it. But you're able to do that from here as well. Accessibility. Okay, this is where I was heading to. So as far as accessibility, you're able to go here, make sure you're going to your settings and then selecting accessibility. You're able to set your text size. Okay, here, your display options as well. Okay. Sound. Okay, again, a lot of this you need to have Windows activated on here. Okay. Mouse pointer and touch. So as you can see, my mouse pointer stands out a little bit, only because it's something that you'll follow because of the color, but this is the one that I chose on Windows 10. But you're able to, from here, select the different size as well. All right, color. Okay, and then they also have touch indicators where you can touch the screen if you have a touch enabled device. Text cursor. All right, again, this is where you can set the size and the color. So all of this can be customized and set for accessibility issues. A lot of Microsoft, well, I would say all of them, Microsoft apps all have accessibility features on there, so that anyone and everyone can comfortably use their apps. Okay, so same goes for Windows 11. All right, magnifier, color filters, okay, contrast themes. All right, if the person needs to have black background in a white font, you're able to do that as well. And narrator. Okay, remember this is readily available from the beginning once you click on this. All right, so you're able, for someone who cannot have vision challenges, they're able to hear right off the bat what they need to. All right, in order to set those options for them. All right, before signing in. Okay, so you can turn your narrator off and on. Okay, from here, you can turn off the keyboard shortcut and so on. Okay, so accessibility is very important. Okay, we have to know how to get here, and it's different types of accessibility challenges that Windows actually tries to meet the needs of. Okay, so we have vision, hearing, interaction. Okay, different types. So we are actually at 11 o'clock. I think I actually got through everything that I was supposed to get through. However, now is the time. I know we actually have 99 people. I didn't think we were going to have this many people in here. But in the chat, I think that works best. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask a question. If there was something you want me to go over, or something that I didn't present to you today or demonstrate, let me know, and I will try my best to demonstrate for you now or answer your question. Let me bring up my chat. Okay, anyone have any questions? I know you're probably just ready to go and dig your hands into it, get ready to go. I'm really excited about Windows 11. I just downloaded it 2 weeks ago, but I have a touch screen, so it took some time because of the touch screen, it said it wasn't compatible. Okay, so what are the new multitasking features introduced in Windows 11? And how do they compare to Windows 10? So I just showed you one of them, all right, and that's being able to use the snap feature, to be able to use at multiple screens, the snap layout feature. Also what you're able to do, which I did not get to show you, was you're able to move your apps that you're working on and to a different virtual desktop and have those applications open in there instead of your main one. Also, what you're able to do is, what is it called? You're able to create a group list, which is you're actually able to group apps together and name them one name. It could be a project name, so that when you open up that project or that group name, it'll automatically open those apps up. This window, in one file explorer window. Okay, let me go back to the previous question. Does HH use a facial? Oh, so that question wouldn't be for me. I don't know if you
I
guys
can
would.
answer that question.
Okay.
We are not planning to use that functionality.
Okay. All right, that's why I said every company is different. However, you might want to use it if you have those capabilities on your personal computer at home. So does Windows 11 allow you to open multiple tabs in one file explorer window? So you can have more than one file explorer open. So let me open this one. I didn't mean to close it. So if you open that and then you right click on File Explorer, you can click on File Explorer again and it'll open up another one. So now if you hover over the icon on the taskbar, you have your two File Explorers open. All right. And if you need to multitask between the two, because I do this all the time, I copy and paste, I drag from one file explorer to the other, you can actually use the snap feature to look at them side by side. All right, so you're able to just go back and forth and look at it that way. Hopefully that answered your question. All right, let's see. Okay, another question for Joseph. All right. So again,
I'm not understanding the question. Can you elaborate?
Hi, Joseph, it's Maria. So I'm just
Right.
wondering if we will be able to use access Windows on our work cells, and then access like maybe any documents that we work on our work cells.
No. Okay.
No?
So the work cell, which is an iPhone, works based off of iPhone as the platform, and Windows is a different platform. So you cannot use Windows on the iPhone, but you'll be able to access documents. But if it is a window, if it is a Word document, and if it has been stored in the network on the OneDrive, then you would be able to access it.
yeah, so it definitely, if you have OneDrive, you can put the OneDrive app on your mobile phone. So if that is something that your company allows, which it sounds like it does, you'll definitely be able to access those files on OneDrive through the app on your iPhone. All right. Any other questions? Could be anything. You're welcome. Allison, is that what? Okay, you're welcome. Any other questions? We have plenty of time. I just wanted to make sure that I was able to cover everything that and Joseph, if there's anything that I didn't cover that I was supposed to, please let me know. And I'll definitely cover that. But I was going off of a list that I that I got. And that's what I was trying to cover. And most of that, what I covered is basically the differences. Everything else I would have been showing you, you probably already used in Windows 10. And I didn't want to go over Windows 10 features if they were already available in Windows 11. So,
You pretty much covered everything.
okay, I just want to make sure. And again, anyone else, any other questions? Let me know. Joseph, I am going to, because this is my own Zoom. I think with CDS, they didn't have a Zoom where they could have 100 people in there. So I'll forward them the recording, so you'll have access to that. So just reach out to your contact person in a couple hours, and I'll get them the recording if you wanted to have that. All right. And hopefully by January though, even though it's good that after you do have that after the rollout, you have another training, so to speak. But hopefully people will be acclimated to it by then. A month is a pretty good, I think it's about, all right, so Joseph, when did you guys say you were rolling out?
We're starting to roll out from next week.
Oh, next week, okay. So you'll pretty much have a couple of months to play with it before that second training. And then by then you'll have more specific ideas of what you want to go over too. Because there may be some people who didn't really use Windows 10 and will need like more of an in-depth training with Windows 11. And I forgot to mention, they're still doing updates. So by then, in a couple of months, which is what I appreciate about Microsoft, and it's why I love teaching Microsoft products, is they're always coming up with innovative features and ways to create, all right, whether it's documents, presentations, spreadsheets, diagrams, you know. I'm always learning myself, but I'm pretty sure, especially by January, there's probably going to be one or two more features available. So we'll see when we get there, right? But yeah, so the snap feature, I'm trying to see. Basically, that is everything. It's just pretty much the layout and the taskbar view that's different. The start menu, and there's so much that you can do here. Let me click on widgets though. So if you go up here to the settings, and remember I mentioned before, personalize your interests. You can click on there, it takes you to the browser. And then for the first time, it'll go through these different settings right here. And see, this is already changed, because before when you did this, everything was on the left here. So they already changed how you personalize the settings. I just did this 2 weeks ago. When you clicked on it, there was options on the left for you to personalize. That's why I said it's just so much that's different. Okay, so now the menu you get here from the right, and then personalize your feed down there. This is the page it opened up to, and now you have to click on another button to get here. And so you're able to find interests if you don't see them here, or specific interests. Sports. Okay, I'm a basketball fan, so I would probably have NBA here under sports. You can choose different things here. Once you click on this and then you go back, because it's all live, you will pretty much see those options there as well. So if you close this down here, you go back up to your widgets, you should see those different feeds updated, which I can't tell because there was already things here. But you would be able to update your feeds through the browser. All right. I watch a lot well, not only watch, but I read a lot of news, and sometimes that's not good. Because it can get a little bit outrageous these days. But weather definitely is something that you want to use. A lot of what people don't use, and that's why I had it open, is the maps. I really like the maps feature. Let me see if it finished downloading. Oh, no. Okay. It says 76%. But there's so much you can do with the maps, and that was something that I was going to demonstrate, was being able to do screenshots of map and put it into WordPad, and then saving it and doing all types of things. But a couple of these apps need updating, so wouldn't I wouldn't be able to do that. So see, this is still updating, but I really love the maps feature. There's so much you can do with the maps or Windows Maps feature, even on the computer. All right, you could do searches like we do on our mobile phone. Directions, you can share directions or locations as well. So, okay. Yeah, I use Google Chrome a lot. So I don't know what I would do. I really don't use Edge and a lot of apps. And you'll probably hear a lot of people say this to you, is that Edge, I don't know about nowadays, but I know up to like a year or two ago, Edge is a little bit iffy when it comes to opening certain websites or going to certain apps that require a browser. So you will, I will here, and I have told students to use Firefox or Google Chrome, so you won't have too many issues. But I hear that Edge is a whole lot better now. So again, I can't really tell you if you'll have any issues with Edge. Like for instance, in our lab environments, we are told by the IT department to use Chrome or Firefox. So, which is kind of weird because in the lab environment, you know, we are using Edge. But any other questions?
I think, Jackie, we can end the session if in case there are no questions.
Okay. Well, I'll stay on here until everyone leaves. But you guys have a good one. I hope everyone got at least one thing out of, you're welcome, out of this Windows 11 presentation. Like I mentioned from the beginning, I really like this new operating system by Microsoft. They have gotten better ever since 2007. So, but definitely, even though I miss XP, XP was probably my favorite, but now Windows 11 is my favorite. You're welcome. Have a good one, everyone. Be safe. Thank you. Yeah. Windows 7 too. Yep. You're welcome. Have a good one. For our last handful of people, be safe.
Yeah. So this is only IT primarily. So Mona, Alma, and Chad, do you guys have any questions? If not, you can drop off as well. Okay. Okay. All right, Jacqueline, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Looking forward for the recorded session. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thanks, bye.